We always say residential real estate is the best investment, and the results speak for itself. So let's have a quick look at what else the market has been doing.
Well, of course, it is quite interesting to see that the average concentration of household wealth when distributed that way, 9.4 trillion in residential real estate. So that is as you have quite rightfully mentioned, that results speak for themselves. You might say whatever, but show me the figures, and figures don't lie. So how has this been made possible? And looking at all the activities, so what have been some of the contributing factors?
Yes, looking at the strong housing market, activity has been supported by a combination of factors, including low interest rates, a low cash rate is the key driving house demand, with RBA estimates that 1% point reduction of cash rate and can lead up to an 8% point increase in property prices. Through 2020, the official cash rate target was reduced 65 basis points, which in turn has pushed mortgage rates to record lows. So the major factor is the low interest rate over there for the strong housing market. And facial and institutional support. 2020 saw the introduction of many demand-side incentives for housing. These include the first home loan deposit scheme that was offered by the government, the home builder scheme, the first home owner deposit scheme, for the new homes. Actually, the new homes where the further grant was the stamp duty. So with all the first new home buyers, if they bought under the 500,000, there was no stamp duty. So that was another incentive for a lot of people going out of rental properties into their new homes, and that was the major factor. The interest rate, low interest rate, the builders scheme as well, first home loan deposits, and the superannuation. There's three or four major factors that has driven the housing market to such a great success.
Well, that is amazing that when we look at the non-physical ones, and of course in the first report we saw that the housing market was with the low interest rate, and it was quite interesting to see there that if the cash rate was reduced by 1 percentage point, it resulted in 8 percentage points in property prices. So through 2020, so that was quite an interesting report there that you have just presented. And of course, looking at the physical and institutional support, there were quite a lot of that. But what about government and the federal incentive, and of course things around the COVID? How did that impact the market?
Of course, there's more factors about that. The non-housing specific special stimulus, such as JobKeeper and the Job Seeker, for there with the coronavirus supplement, and also has helped Australian service housing costs to such as rents and the mortgage repayments. At the height of national restrictions in June 2020 quarter, around 43% of government stimulus payment in response of COVID-19 were used for servicing mortgages, rents, bills, and other personal debts, alongside home loan repayments deferrals. So there was quite a lot of deferrals for home loans. A lot of major banks gave people 6 months or 12 months to defer the payments. These household support measures stabilize the supply side of housing through 2020 by preventing distress sales, and these repayment deferrals were reintroduced in the lockdown period of 2021 as well. So there was quite a few large major factors that has driven to the housing market, and the JobKeeper and the Job Seeker were a blessing in disguise from the government as well.
Well, they were a blessing in any which way you look at it, because it's been something that kept the economy stimulated. it kept everyone through those things that you've just mentioned about, the rent payments, mortgages, and other things. So that's really helped a lot. So moving forward, looking at the accumulative household savings, which we talked about, that that real estate and residential real estate takes the cream on that. So what have been some of the points looking at the accumulative household savings?
Yes, an accumulation of household savings, strict pandemic lockdowns, so inhibited short-term consumption and increased government welfare payments, which contributed to an increase in the household saving rate to 23.6% through to June 2020, against then a decade average of 6.9%. Looking at 6.9% a decade ago and 23.6% is quite a high rise. It is likely the elevated level of savings incentivized higher levels of demand for housing. Obviously, when people had a lot of savings through the government incentives and the welfare payments and all those things, a lot of people have gone into their homes, and that's a great thing. People are not only renting, they have got their own homes. They can call their own home, and the payments what they were paying for rentals can be paid towards the mortgage. So it's a very good results for 2020 and 2021 till November 2021.
And quite rightly said, because if you can look at the accumulation of household savings, you can see that, through, if you go to local functions, events, talking about local, I'm not talking about interstate, but, and of course the spending in the housing market means this is how the people have saved the money, because there was a strict pandemic lockdown, so, it's a short term consumption. So that's why, and the government welfare fueled that economy as well. So that is quite good to see those results. So of course, then we look at the price rises. So some of the factors that were influenced that price rise, Usha.
Yes, relatively low levels of available stock is the major factor. As we always say, supply and demand. Total listing levels continue to remain low nationally as sales of dwellings have outspaced new listings added to the market. In the year to November, they were estimated 51,220 sales occurring across Australia each month, but new listings added to the market were only averaging about 38,000 per month. So you can see the demand and supply over there. While new listings have started to rise through November, total stock of market is still relatively low at the national level, sitting minus 15.4% below the 5-year average. So that's what the market is saying, that the demand is quite high. As you can see, 51,220 sales, whereas listings were only 38,000. So it's a huge number there. So this we'll need more listings to satisfy more buyers now. There's heaps and heaps of thousands of buyers waiting on the databases to find their right house.
And of course, on the scale of economic, if you look at 51,200 sales each month and only 38,000 new listings coming in, so that speaks volume itself. So, that was quite well presented there. Of course, right now, in today, we don't have all the facts and figures which we normally have, because we wanted to show some overview and doing so, but we can't get away from auctions. So, could we have some auction results on the board, please?
Yes, let's have a quick look at auctions in Brisbane. There was 316 auctions in Brisbane, 1,847 in Sydney, 221 in Canberra, and 2,304 in Melbourne. So Melbourne is quite large in auctions at the moment. Adelaide was only 318, Darwin was not applicable, Perth was only 27, and Tasmania was 6 auctions. So looking at the market, the auctions were quite high in numbers as well. Melbourne is outstanding market there, 2,304. So that's the last week's result in auction.
Okay, so that's a report up to 12th of December. Well, yes, Melbourne, 2,304 in there. So, I mean, if we could sort of look at the results as well, and this is the numbers and the clearance rates, Usha.
Yes, let's have a quick look at the capital city auctions on 5th of December. Actually, this result is from 5th of December. Clearance rate in Sydney was 63.8%, which has gone down. Total auctions was 1,466, and then 932 was cleared auctions. And Melbourne was 65.3%. Obviously, Melbourne is much higher now compared to Sydney, 1,912 auctions, and 1,247 sold under the hammer. Brisbane market has gone down as well in auctions, 70.4%, 70% the results, and 271 were the total number of auctions taken to market, and only 190 were sold under the hammer. Adelaide was still holding fairly well. It's gone down by 2% as well, 76.3%, 294 auctions, properties were taken to auction, and 222 was the result. Pretty good results there. Perth was down 44%, 25 properties were taken to auction and 11 were sold. Tasmania was not applicable at all. Canberra 79.3%. The results in Canberra is quite high, it's pretty steady there. 179 properties were taken to auction and 142 sold under the hammer. So looking at the capital cities, the clearance rate is 60, the average is 66.3%. 4,153 homes were taken to auction and 2,745 sold under the hammer. So basically 50% were sold in Melbourne alone, looking at the results of 1,912.
Well, of course, looking at those kind of numbers, Melbourne is up the top, and that does not come as a surprise, as we have been following that through our weekly reports, and you have always highlighted what was going to happen in Melbourne, and right here it is on the board, and you can see it. Well, right now, in conclusion, can we go to your area and look at some of the things happening in your area, maybe sales, opens, rentals, and what's going to happen during the holiday period?
Yes, we have got a couple of sales, which is one apartment in 23 Elvin Street in Northgate. We've got open house there. And at 92 Roscommon Road, that one has gone under contract, but we're still doing the open house. Listings, we have got another one at 116 Niara Street, and that one we are negotiating at the moment. That will be open as well. So rentals, we have got only 2 rental properties. One we have got in Narangba for $520 per week. It's a 2-story home, and that one is 4 bedrooms, 2 bathrooms. And we have got another one in 24 Annesley Crescent, which I just recently sold, and the new owners are looking for tenants, and which is currently rented for $450 at the moment, but the new rental will be at least $520 per week. So that will be a very good rentals, 4 bedrooms, 2 bathrooms, 2 cars. And holiday period, everybody is planning for holiday. Our office will be closed. The actual office will be closed, but the virtual office will be open. So our mobile office will be, you can contact me on 0419 775 416 or Vicky on her mobile number, and we'll be able to help you from our mobile offices. So that's all for this report. Thank you so much for having me on the show, and have a great day.
Well, Usha, by the way, this might be the last show for this year. As we know that the holiday period is coming, because this is the 15th, and the next Wednesday being the 22nd, or would you like to present one on 22nd as the last for this year?
Yes, absolutely. I would like to present the last report for the year on next Wednesday. Thank you so much for having me on the show.
Okay, and after that, the reports will start coming back in January. Today being the 15th, so the next one on the 22nd of December. The last one will do a wrap-up for 2021 real estate. Maybe we will look at the report of the activities through the year and make some predictions of what's going to be coming ahead in 2022. Wow, it doesn't just slip off the tongue as easily as 2021. So anyway, we'll get used to that. And of course, that would be wonderful to see what's going to happen in 2022. 2021 has been a wonderful year. So, real estate has been very, very busy, as we have seen throughout our weekly reports. The 22nd of December will be the last report for this year. Until then, it's goodbye from us.
Has been the longest established, trusted and respected agency in its trade area. Usha Chandra, Director of GlobeNet Realty, provides honest and ethical service to her customers. If you are thinking of investing in Brisbane real estate market, or if you are seeking professional property management, then you should contact Usha Chandra today on landline 3865 4466 or mobile 0419 775 416. And for further updates, log on to our website www.globenetralty.com.au. GlobeNet Realty is your own local real estate agency. Situated at Shop 52281 Sandgate Road, Boondall. GlobeNet Realty. Real estate is our world.